Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is May 30th, 2025, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights today, U.S. markets really tapering off, even though we had a nice surge in early pre-market action yesterday. However, looking at today's major economic events, so we have at 2:30 South African time from the United States, a core PCE Price Index number coming out. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs really tapering off and trickling lower on lower volume. And so is the major indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, both trickling lower yesterday. And looking at commodities, really unchanged day today. And looking at the stocks, NVIDIA had and beat its revenue earnings. However, and it did gap up, but couldn't sustain it and then did trickle lower throughout the day. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin trickles lower as well. So markets are just kind of trickling lower right now, and we're going into summer trading. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go with the Japanese yen, and I just want to highlight this because the Japanese yen is one of the more volatile Forex symbols that we have. And you can see we're just like really in a very, very tight range at these levels. Now, does that mean for the rest of the summer, the next 3 months in the Northern Hemisphere, which is the summer, does that mean that there's not going to be any more action? No, it just means that some of the action is going to be a little bit diminished, and it's also going to come in waves. It's going to come in very concentrated areas and times, okay? So we do have FOMC coming out with a rate decision next month of June, and so there will be also some major companies coming out with their quarterly earning reports. So take that all into consideration going into that time frame. All right, now looking at the Japanese yen, nothing really jumping out. Okay, we're at like mid-level here, not on the lows, we're not on the highs, we're somewhere in the middle, so I want to stay off of it. And looking at the commodities as well, gold really in a very tight range, okay? Coming off of 33.20 down to 32.97, okay, in a $20 range, not really doing much there either. And if we look at crude oil, you could see it even more. I mean, this is really very tight range, about less than $1, okay? So this is really very difficult to trade these type of atmospheres. However, the U.S. markets are still trading, okay, and there is some activity. So looking at the Dow Jones yesterday, we had a down day yesterday, okay? Not a massive down day, but you see that we did retrace after that surge up. And also on the NASDAQ, we did retrace after having a nice push up to 21,700. We were there just yesterday at this time. Now, we are lower of about 400 points and completely understandable. It was fading the news, okay? NVIDIA coming out with its quarterly earning reports, beating it, all that stuff. However, it was red on the day. So why is it red? It beats its revenue and it's still red. So, well, let me tell you a little bit tidbit about the financial markets, okay? There's something called expected returns. Even though they beat their expected returns, that was an expectation that was already met. So the fact that it's down, okay, the initial reaction was, yeah, it's great, amazing. Let's keep on buying it out. But once the dust settles, we kind of realize, okay, we're still, in an environment that's not expanding. It's not just NVIDIA. The entire economy is not just NVIDIA, right? So with that all said, you have to, take it in with the context of the kind of environment that we're in, okay, with everything happening in the markets right now. Now, looking at the other stocks, yeah, Netflix was down on the day, okay, that was a superstar that has just, kind of retraced a little bit, and they go in variations, okay? Tesla also retracing a little bit yesterday after being on that resistance in the area, okay? But there's no massive kind of moves right now, so just basically what I'm saying is manage expectations. Don't have big expectations for the market to do anything big, at least in the short term. Now looking at Bitcoin also retracing to its supportish level, okay, which was previous resistance, subsequent support, and that's where we're at these levels as well. So keep that in mind. Markets are kind of consolidating at these areas, so don't do anything too aggressive. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.